Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today na Friday number 29 day for the 10th month of this year, 2021. My name na Capo Daniel, the Deputy Defense Chief of the Ambazonia Defense Forces, Sense Pass King. Today, I don come again for una with another episode of my daily podcast for una. The capital city for La République du Cameroon and their economic capital, Yaoundé and Douala, they don begin smell like na toilet. It don be over 2 weeks wey La République du Cameroon, their company wey dey carry dirty, Hezekam, it don deny for work due to non-payment of salaries, as La République du Cameroon divert its fund to fund their illegal war against Ambazonia. The war is draining La République du Cameroon to death. Rubbish pile they don flop for all corner for Douala and for Yaoundé. La République du Cameroon na indeed a shame of Africa. No be a country wey fit help its own citizens them, let alone be able for help we for Ambazonia. Still for La République, video footages dey comot for a family for La République du Cameroon, their terrorist gendarme wey dey don kill am for Ambazonia. The Cameroon military it don dump the corpse for a family without any honor. Na so they dey bury people them wey dem specialize for killing innocent civilians and babies. Una listen for the video.
La menace est un village qui n'est pas très loin de Balanté, dans la région de l'Ouest, dans le Ndé. Je vous envoie cette vidéo pour que chacun de vous qui regarde cette vidéo comprenne que la gendarmerie nationale a abandonné mon petit frère qui est mort au champ de bataille dans la zone du Nord-Ouest le 23 septembre dernier. Nous avons fait la veillée hier soir. Aucun gendarme. Ce matin, nous apprêtons à aller enterrer le corps de notre frère. C'est civil.
In the video, his brother it cry, say La République they don abandon their corpse. Even the military, they know they for bury with military honor, even though he died in battle for inside Ambazonia. There is indeed no honor for thieves and terrorists who save a terrorist regime in a genocidal war against innocent civilians. La République du Cameroon, as they run out of cash, they come out with new ways and for raise money. News dey comot come. Say La République, their minister for youth affairs and civic education, he go start a new ID card for picking them. This new youth ID card, they go launch am. Then talk say it go be a biometric identity card. The one na another way for start extort even small picking them. Indeed, there is no honor amongst thieves and genocide there in Yaoundé. These are not people Ambazonians should live with in any shape or form. La République du Cameroon, they don announce again say they send another colonial SDO for inside the great state of Bui. This time they send a former forestry officer for Bui, we name na Gilbert Ndang Meyong. They don begin look now the lower one they for send am, as La République they don fail after repeated installation upon installation of SDO for inside Bui. All them they can run. No one dey stay for inside Bui itself. They announce the coming of the new colonial SDO at a time when just less than 24 hours, the people them for inside this district for Kumbu, they are experience huge attack using artillery and heavy gun shells for inside Bui. This random shooting, it done destroy a lot of property for inside the great state of Bui. The population never even finish cry the loss of their property them. They announced now the coming of another provocation, a colonial SDO, who need to expect say you can stay for inside Bui. Bui, na a liberated area for inside Ambazonia. It be under Ambazonia dynamic control, not yet static control. But there are over 7 villages in Bui which are under Ambazonian static control. La République du Cameroon colonial administration have 0 administrative representative in the great state of Bui. their presence have been reduced to a few bunkers of military outposts which are unable to conduct patrol around our territory. While for Bamenda, the Bamenda Catholic Church, their Archbishop, His Grace Andrew Nkar, he then announced and say me the church people them they enter for inside serious prayer for reflect on their activity them. This it come as we then call out the church and Archbishop Nkar for not calling for justice for the people of the southern Cameroons, but repeating the cause of people living in peace. The Catholic Church should know that the people of Ambazonia are not still the tribal people who used to work under colonial master that simply wanted to live in peace within the plantation. Ambazonia people deserve dignity and they deserve justice and the respect of their full human rights as a people. Just as Pope John Paul Ibitok, any person who call for peace without justice is a hypocrite. The church have had a bad record partnering directly with the Cameroon military to use its facilities and personnel to recruit and disarm Ambazonian fighters into their DDR centers. If there is any example the church must follow is the example of Christ, who says he come for the oppressed. Our people needs to live free of Cameroon terrorism, such as that would take away the life of baby Caroline in Boya and baby Martha, who have had no justice. The church must speak and identify the true cause and the reasons for the protest and the war. It is for separation and independence. The people of the southern British Cameroon have had enough and have said we want outright separation and outright independence for our territory. For another news, it never be up to 1 month since the president of the Ambazonia Governing Council, Dr. Cho Ayaba, led a delegation, including the vice president of the Ambazonia Governing Council, Dr. Julius Nye, to Hamburg, Germany. Thus are yet to settle as the diplomatic mission have provoked adverse attacks from those rogue Ambazonian groups who have gone to seal their fate in the Swiss deal, with Bo Herbert going on the rant on social media and on Twitter, and the last one being Sako Ikome having a press conference inviting journalists from Nigeria, Ghana and Cameroon, in which he make an appeal to Muhammad Buhari to recognize Ambazonia independence. It be important for Ambazonian people to understand. Say for Sako, after a strong diplomatic mission by the leader of our War of Liberation, Dr. Cho Ayaba, to come out and ask for recognition for Buhari, an appeal that everybody knows have 100% failure rate. There is no way on earth any reasonable person would think there is a chance for Buhari to recognize Ambazonia independence after having signing an internationally binding treaty to work hand in hand with Cameroon to fight against Ambazonia and Biafra. The call of Sako for Buhari to recognize Ambazonia after Sako have been one of the only people to send congratulatory message to Nigeria on the 1st of October for the celebration of their Independence Day. Ambazonia should see as proof of the fact that Sako is indeed working to cover up and reassure the Nigerian people, the Cameroon people and their international partners a false sense of security, which will enable them to wave on international pressure and keep the war going. In a rebuttal press release, the Ambazonia Governing Council have reassured the Biafran people and the Ambazonian people that the alliance between the two people led by legitimate leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba is strong and is ongoing, and there is nothing any agent can do to stop it. The Ambazonia Governing Council have also reminded the international community that Cameroon and Nigeria will not be able to guarantee peace and security in the Gulf of Guinea any longer. There shall be consequences for the Nigerian government collaboration with La République du Cameroon and for the Nigerian government to rendition Ambazonian captives within its territory to La République du Cameroon in violation of humanitarian laws. In regards to the statement made by Sako Ikome regarding the constituents of the Ambazonia Governing Council The Ambazonian Governing Council informed the international press that the Ambazonian Governing Council is the biggest Ambazonian liberation movement and is not insignificant as called by Sako Ekome. The Ambazonian Governing Council have displayed on the 1st of October that it controls over 30% of Ambazonian controlled territory within Ambazonia and over 60% of dynamic territory controlled by Ambazonia. The Ambazonian population that was mobilized in the tens of thousands is evidence and proof that the vast majority of our people on ground zero stands behind the Ambazonia Governing Councils as the entire population of Ambazonia marched towards its independence. The popularity of Ambazonia Governing Council have been displayed beyond popular social media networks. On the ground, we have seen the Ambazonia Governing Council set up community mobilization efforts, building schools and hospitals for our people, fighting kidnapping for ransom, and standing up against dictator Paul Biya with a robust structure for national defense that both inspire our youth to rise up and defend Ambazonia cause for independence and empower them to do the same. Statements made by Sako Ekome should be ignored as he cannot legitimately represent the IG group which he claims to represent. It should be noted that Sako was not elected in the IG and has since been fired by Ayok Tabi, the legitimate leader of the IG group who have been renditioned by Nigeria to La République du Cameroon. Sako Ekome, for the most part, is an opportunist which group have loose or little or no significant control and command over forces they claim are theirs on the ground. The Ambazonia Defense Forces and the Ambazonia Governing Council will continue to reinforce Ground Zero and carry out strategic alliances for the liberation of our homeland. We encourage our youth to join the 1,000 New Amber Boys campaign to spread the enemy thin and to collaborate on the ground for effective liberation of our homeland. The Cameroon government have been weakened. It's time for all Ambazonia people to come together as one to fund the resistance and avoid unnecessary provocation, but focus on a common enemy if indeed that is our main objective, to fight against La République du Cameroon's occupation of our territory. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Capo Daniel, signing off.